When I see a lot of people coming into this space, a lot of people coming in with no guidance, and then they're like the road runner that's just running off the cliff, and then they're falling, and then they're not understanding why they're falling. So in this video, I'm about to break down to you the 4 pillars that you need to understand and overstand when it comes to running a clothing brand. So on my journey, it took me so long to get to where I'm at, and I could have saved 8 years and 8 months if I would have simply just did a few principles. And the first principle was just go to find somebody that has done this before, that has actual experience and skin in the game, rather than me wasting years and years and years, a half a decade plus, on trying to figure out how to do everything, when all I could have figured out was who has done it, and then learn everything from them to just save me a half a decade of time. But that's why y'all got me for free on a place like YouTube to give it all out to you for free. So the 4 pillars when it comes to running a clothing brand is very, very, very simple, and it goes from the most important all the way down to the least important. And the only way that you can understand these principles that I'm about to break down, or pillars I guess you can say, is because you have to have skin in the game and experience to fully understand everything I'm about to break down to you in this video. So the first pillar to running a clothing brand is marketing. When you look at every single brand owner out there, that especially the streetwear brands that you guys look up to and like, when you look at the owners of those brands, they're not good designers, they're not good at production, they're not good at cut and sew. Some of them brands aren't even good, but one thing that they are good at is that they're very, very, very good marketers. Now, everybody uses the word marketing on such a vague term, right? They be like, oh, well, I know how to market. No. We're not just talking organic TikTok. There's so many different levels to marketing. We got influencers, we got paid ads on Facebook, IG, TikTok, content creation on TikTok, the psychology. There's so many different micro things just inside of marketing that you got to understand and overstand. Even if you're not good at it, before you delegate it off to somebody else, you got to know the plays, right? It's almost like if you're the brand owner, you're not supposed to be on the basketball court with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and all the rest of them boys, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, right? They know their position, but you are the person that's writing the plays, but you got to understand the plays before you give them out to other people. So even on all those micro pillars, you have to overstand and understand them. And that's just a few of them. And like I said, those are just a few of the micro pillars that go into that one big pillar. So the first pillar to running your clothing brand is marketing. Now that leads us down to our second pillar, and which is sales. And sales is a very tricky game, because when it comes to sales and you selling a commodity like a t-shirt, and you're selling cut and sew stuff, and you're selling accessories and sneakers and all this other good stuff, it's all about perceived value, right? It's not like a service. It's all, well, even a service can be perceived value as well. But the reason why you buy Nike and you buy Jordans and you buy Supreme, because it's perceived as valuable, right? But only the marketplace is what makes it valuable, right? So with me, it's all about the Shopify. Are we doing pre-order versus pre-made? With the infrastructure of the brand, the operational managers, our profit and loss, all these different things, even when it comes into selling. And you gotta understand and overstand even selling, which is now gonna bring us down to our third pillar, which is production. So right now we got marketing, sales, and now we're at production. And production, to me, is the hardest part of the brand, due to the simple fact that you need somebody that has a Kobe Bryant skill set to run that for you. Because when you're dealing with the manufacturers overseas, when you're dealing with domestic, when you're dealing with scheduling, when you're dealing with the tech packs, when you're dealing with the sampling, when you're dealing with the measurements of the cut and sew, all these small tangible things to take the concept to reality, to me, I think is the hardest part of the brand. But at the same time, you gotta have skin in the game and go through a lot of this stuff by yourself before you bring somebody on your team and you tell them exactly how you want everything ran. And then it leads me to my fourth pillar, which is design. And design is the funnest part, but it's the least important part. And I know that you right now are probably like, what the hell? Like, I'm a great designer, but just because you're a great designer, that doesn't mean that you're a great brand owner. And I think a lot of people come into this with this delusional mindset, and they think, oh, just because they can make a dope design, or they made a few cool little concepts on a t-shirt, that they can just slap it on a Shopify website and everybody in the world is supposed to buy it. You gotta remember something, like the cheat code to running a brand is building a culture. The only way that you can build a culture is by making a world that never existed until you created it. And it's not some complex thinking. All you gotta think of like is who you are, make a brand that is very similar to you, and then go out there and go find a bunch of duplicated versions of yourself. It's very easy, right? So for a perfect example, like me, as you guys can see, we in my office right now. This is my design room, and my brand, Lord knows, I grew up religious. Yeah, and my brand, Lord knows, is a representation of my lifestyle, my upbringing, and me and my friends' lifestyles and upbringing as well. I grew up super religious, and when you look at my brand, and you guys go look on my brand page at Lord Knows Clothes. It's screaming to you Lord Knows without even saying the word. It's the sinner and it's the saint, right? And I'm building this world that never existed until a person like me that's on this physical plane was able to create it. But at the same time, right, I'm a good designer, but nobody gives a shit about designs. People want to be connected to something. Why you think religion is bigger than ever? And the Manosphere and the Red Pill and the Andrew Tate, people want to feel like they a part of something. So rather than just making a cool design t-shirt and just throwing it out there to the world and be like, oh, kick your feet up, people are supposed to buy it. No, like, why don't you just go build a community and you go build a culture, and then you bring people into that, and then majority of the stuff that you ever put out, a lot of people will connect with because the message is on the clothing. So let's just say if you good at production, you need to become good as a brand owner, but your unfair advantage is that skill set that you have. So I can almost promise you, the person that's watching this video right now, you suck at 3 out of those 4 things that I just broke down. You either suck at marketing, you suck at sales, you suck at production, and you suck at design. 3 of those 4 you suck at. So whatever those 3 are, those are the ones that you need to go into. Don't worry about the skill set unless it's marketing. The other ones is like, you need to just get rid of those, and everybody needs to just literally go into the marketing. And the same thing that I'm going to tell you is the same thing that I tell all of my mentees, that 80% of your time needs to be spent in marketing and innovation. Everything else is just an expense from that. Ponder on that. Like, everything else is an expense. The production, the Shopify, the recurring payments, design, that's time wasted, that's money wasted. But you need to go get more eyeballs. Those eyeballs is going to come into those people that's considering your brand. You nurture them, and then that's bringing in the sales, and now you're starting to pump, right? And now you take those profits and then you go find the people to replace those other pillars that you suck at, and now that's going to streamline your brand to the finish line. So I'm not trying to go on a Kanye right here. I'm just trying to give you guys from my experience and my stories, a lot of struggling brand owners out there, and I do not want to see you one of them. So with that being said, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Makaveli is out. Peace.